it looks all stretchy, as I'd expected it to. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can go live on Facebook, and I think I've done that, hopefully. So if I am indeed live, if you can start messaging me, that would be really good. I realise you're just looking at my lap again. Hello, Helen. Hello. I've only got 3 of you at the moment, which is a bit of a worry.
Oh, okay.
Which means, so Helen, how did you get on? Did you get on from the message last week?
Yeah, that's what I did. I went back to the link.
Oh, good. So hopefully that will take people to where I want them to be.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, it
That's
works
good.
fine for me. And then you just get told to join the audio or something, and you
Yeah.
just press.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Easy.
Right, let's see if I can get my Pilates in uphill on my computer, then I can watch the live show in here. But I can't quite see how to do it because Daniel did it for me last time. I'm not good at this technical stuff. It's beyond me. Right, I don't think that's going to work today. So I'm just going to turn it around this way and switch the cameras over. Go back to the way I was doing it. Vicky! Yay! You're here, Vicky! I'm going to have to switch the screen round. And hopefully, I'm going to set it up so that hopefully you can see me, but the camera's gone a bit weird on me again. So, hopefully that works.
I lost you.
You lost me, Mo?
Yeah. I got you.
Got me back. Good. Good. Oh, I've got Gwen there waiting to come through. Where's Gwen? Oh, no, that's all right. Rachel's there. Good. Gwen's watching through Facebook, but now she's looking at switching into Zoom. Hi, Gary.
Hi.
Hiya. Hi, Rachel. Did you guys just get my email?
Yes.
You did? Oh, cool. So did that switch it through to you? It gave you the right link?
Well, we're here.
We're here. No, what
Yeah.
I was doing, I was looking on Facebook, and I was looking on Facebook for it, and I thought, oh, you silly one, we watch it on Zoom. So then I just thought, oh, I wonder if there's an email, and miraculously there it was.
Phew.
So I clicked.
Oh, good. Good. So that did bring you through to the right thing. So I was really worried that I was worried that last week's connection might not be the right connection, and the whole week I thought, it's fine, everyone knows how to get on, but of course I'm not sure whether it was the right connection, so hopefully...
I don't know. I didn't try last week, so I don't know.
Okay, cool. Well, you got the email now, so that's good. So hopefully everyone else will get that one as well and be able to click in.
You know, when did you recently send it? Well, yeah, so it might take a while.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Filter through.
Yeah, we'll see. Marvellous. Okay. Well, Gwen, I think Gwen... Oh, here's Gwen. I've got 2 Gwens coming through. Ah, there you are, Gwen.
You see, you need your holiday.
Yeah, I'm not very good at this. And last time I got Daniel to come down and have a look at it. Carol's on, yay! Last time Daniel came and got it all on the screen for me, and today I didn't get him up and get him to come down and do this, so...
But you've done it, look. You're all right.
Yeah, bit of a panic.
You're having a week off, so you'll forget about it completely.
Yeah, that's right, yeah, we'll forget about it all through next week.
Think how clever you'll be at the end of this, Emma.
Pardon?
Think how clever you'll be at the end.
That's right, Mo. I can only imagine how clever I'll be.
I should be going to the Netherlands today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to the tulip fields.
Oh, what a
Tulip
shame.
gardens.
Oh,
To
yeah.
celebrate 40 years friendship with my my longest standing friend.
Oh, what a shame.
We were going on an old person's coach trip.
Oh, so you're going to do it all virtually and see each other?
Yeah. I could look at the YouTube video of it, didn't I? And I
Yeah.
got £60 back, so.
FaceTime your friend. Pop to the shops and get some tulips.
Quite.
Go like that. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. It'll happen another year.
Yeah. I'm going to go to the shops and get some Madeira cake.
It's a pretty boring cake.
Yeah, I don't think it's really going to make a difference to my kids. I don't think they're going to feel that, yay, Mum's made it. Now we've got Madeira cake.
You need Madeira wine.
Yes, I think me and Si will definitely need the Madeira wine.
You have to coat the Madeira cake in chocolate.
Oh, that's a good idea, yeah. With my children, anything coated in chocolate makes it okay.
Well, quite.
Well, I think for me as well, to be honest.
Well, yeah.
Morning, Carol. Okay, I think we should get ourselves moving, and then hopefully people might start to switch in. There might be a few more coming onto Facebook Live. Oh, we've got 8 on Facebook Live. Whoop whoop. Hello, guys. So we'll get ourselves moving. As I said last week, if you're at home, and especially those of you on Facebook Live, feel free to put some music on. What I'll probably do with you guys in class is I'll mute you, so that if you can put any music on you want then, and you can put any music on you want. So I've muted all you guys from Zoom, but feel free if you want to talk to me, just to come up and switch your microphone back on and come and have a little chat with me. Those of you that are on Facebook Live, welcome to the class. So once again, I've mucked up the camera so that I'm enormous on my screen. Hi Christina! So I'm enormous on my screen, so I don't really know what you can and can't see, because that's how much I think you can see. So that's not very much, is it? So we'll just see what we can do. Let's allow ourselves to get moving. Oh, I'll close those doors, because once Joe Wicks stops, we never know what'll happen. So let's allow those feet to come underneath our hips, and we'll allow the toes to point forwards. And we'll just take a few moments to allow ourselves to settle in and allow ourselves to take a nice few gentle breaths. And as we breathe nice and deeply, we'll allow ourselves to just zone in on how our body's feeling today. So we'll allow that breath to come and go nice and deeply. And just take a moment to allow yourself to gently shift from one side, from one foot to the other. And you might start to notice that one side or the other feels more familiar to you. And then you might want to shift your weight from the back of the foot to the front of the foot. And again, you might feel as though one extreme or the other extreme feels more familiar. So let's allow ourselves to find that place where our weight's right in the centre of the 2 feet. And then we'll stack the body on top like building blocks stacking up. So we'll allow ourselves to be soft through the ankles and soft through the knees. And then finding that sense of softness into the hips. So let's allow ourselves to imagine the pelvis like a bucket of water. We'll tip a little bit of water out of the front of the bucket. Tip a little bit of water out of the back of the bucket, and we'll take it through those 2 extremes, tipping gently forwards, gently back, And finding that place where it feels as though the bucket of water is nice and level. And then we'll lengthen nice and tall through the spine from there. Head extends up towards the space above us. So we'll take some nice gentle breaths from there. Let's allow the shoulders to lift. And we'll roll the shoulders back and down. And we'll do that a few times. Gently rolling back and down. And then as the shoulders ease towards one another, we'll sink down towards the tailbone and allow the head to float up towards the space above us. And as we do, let's think about connecting into those deep core muscles. So we've got the pelvic floor drawing in, we've got a deep connection through the belly. We'll take a breath and we'll allow the right arm to float forwards and up. Breathing in as that arm floats back down, changing over to the other side. My shoulders are really poppy today. Hopefully you didn't hear that massive shoulder pop echoing through the microphone. Lovely. Good, let's keep that going. And we'll finish off on that second side. Let's allow that right arm to reach all the way up for the sky. We'll keep the right arm reaching as we take a little extension up and over to the side. Coming through the centre, let's change over to the other arm. And up and over. Good, lovely. Coming through the centre, changing over sides. Up and over. Lovely. Keeping that going for me. One more on each side. And coming through the centre, we'll draw the fingertips in towards one another. Let those shoulders melt down the back. Strength through the core, keeping the pelvis nice and still. We'll let the ribcage gently rotate round to the right side. And we're breathing in as we return back to the centre. Rotating round to the opposite side. Breath in as we return back to the centre. Good, keep that going for me. Lovely. Now if we want to, we'll allow the elbows to open out nice and wide. And the shoulders are gliding down the back. Keeping the pelvis nice and still. So the technique stays the same, but as we've got the arms that bit wider, there'll be a little bit of a heavier lever, so we really need to concentrate on making sure those shoulders stay gliding down the back. Lovely. Now instead of bringing our tray in front of us, we're still going to cut the space with our hands. Bring the arms all the way across you, and then the right arm's going to go high and the left arm's going to go low. Yeah, nice. And then drawing in, we'll change over to the other side. Left arm goes high, right arm goes low. Yeah, that's it. So you're cutting the space with your thumbs, leading the way with the thumbs. Lovely. And we get a nice sense of openness across the chest. Oh, yeah, lovely. Good. One more on each side. Nice. And then let's draw the arms in. Give yourselves a big hug. Good. And then from there, I'm just going to show you on the side. We'll keep the belly button squeezing, we'll keep the tailbone descending down, we'll just take a little curve through the upper body. Just enjoy that sense of length across the upper back, maybe the lower back as well. Take a breath, we'll let the breastbone lift for the sky. Lifting, 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 shoulders glide down the back. And then we come back into the centre, let the head release, curving gently forwards. And then coming through the centre, and upper back reaches, breastbone reaches for the sky. And then this time let's allow the arms to come and release the arms as we curve gently forwards. Glide those shoulders down the back and we'll gently roll down through the spine. Coming down bit by bit, piece by piece. Nice deep breath at the bottom. And then breathing out as we roll up through the spine. Nice deep breath at the top. And then breathing out as we roll back down through the spine. So we'll keep that going. Lovely. That's it. Nice. Taking a nice deep breath at the bottom and then rolling gently up through the spine. And we're seeing if we can work each and every vertebrae as we go. And this time as we get to the top, let's lift the shoulders, roll the shoulders back and down, and we'll allow both arms to float forwards and up. Breathing in as the arms float back down, and then again release through the top of the head, rolling down through the spine, coming down through the vertebrae. Nice and deep with the breath. And breathing out as we roll up through the spine. Lifting the shoulders, roll the shoulders back and down, both arms float forwards and up. Lovely. Let's float the arms down. We'll take a little bend through the knees and let those arms open out to the side. That's it, Helen. Nice, good. And again, releasing through the top of the head, rolling gently down through the spine. Nice and deep with the breath. And then breathing out as we roll back up through the spine. Lifting the shoulders when you get there, roll the shoulders back and down, both arms float forwards and up. And floating the arms back down, soften through the knees, arms open out to the side. Lovely. Let's do one more like that. Good. So we take that roll down through the spine, soft through the vertebrae, and taking a deep breath, rolling up through the spine. When we get to the top, lift the shoulders, roll the shoulders back and down, and as you take that bend, just allow your tailbone to descend down. Breathing in as you float back up. Good. We'll allow the eyes to open and take a little rise. So we'll allow the heels to lift away from the floor, and then we're floating the heels back down. Take that little bend of the knees once again. So the tailbone stays descending down, pelvis stays really nice and level. And if you want to keep those arms opening out, do. So we can open the arms. Notice that as you add the arms in, there's more of a likelihood of you tipping forwards through the pelvis. So there's more likely that you get to a point and you want to sort of hinge here. We want for these ones to just stay lengthened through the torso, so the hip flexors don't pull in. Last one. And then we'll free ourselves into the squat that we want to do. So we'll hinge at the hips and the knees, we'll sink down. And then we'll lengthen up nice and tall. So this one's got much more of a bottom connection going on. We squeeze in through the tummy, we pull the bottom brings us back up. So rather than being a clench, it's a lift through the bottom, it's an engagement to bring you up. And this time we're going to allow one leg to lift. So we bend on down and the right leg brings you up. Yeah, that's it, good. And floating down, sinking back down. And we change over to the other leg. Good. Floating gently down, sinking the pelvis back. Allow that leg to lift. This time go for an extension back behind you. Stretch the leg back behind, arms stretch forwards. Bringing the feet back together, bending the knees and sinking low. And we lift. Extending that leg back behind you, stretching out through the fingertips. Bringing the feet back together. So this time we'll go for our full Superman. Sinking back and down, we lift on up. And as we stretch the leg away, the arms reach also. Breathing in as the leg returns. One more there. And lovely. Extend that leg away. And bringing the legs in. Let's take a roll down through the spine and we'll bring ourselves onto hands and knees. Good. Bringing yourselves gently down. And we'll bring the hands underneath the shoulders. And we'll bring the knees underneath the hips. Shoulders glide down the back. Let's take a little cat stretch from there. Push the back up into the sky. Head drops between the arms. Tailbone points down. And then we shoulders glide down as the head and the tail lengthen out and away. And we'll do that again. Pushing the back up into the sky, head drops between the arms, tailbone points down. And we lengthen the head and the tail away from one another. Keep that going for me. Good. Hi Helen, hi Yvonne. Nice to see you. Well, not see you, but I'm glad you're watching. Last one. So we've got the shoulders gliding down the back, the head's extending out and away and the tailbone stretching out behind us. We're going to strengthen in through the core muscles, take a deep breath and we'll stretch the right leg away from us. Keeping the hips nice and still and we'll breathe in as the leg returns. Changing over to the other side. Allow the leg to lengthen out and away, gliding that leg away. Keeping the hips really nice and stable and still. So I want you to imagine that you've got a cup of tea and it's been balanced on your pelvis. Now, as the leg stretches away, we'll allow the opposite arm to lengthen. And again, if your shoulder blades were coasters on your coffee table, they'd be balancing really nicely on the coffee table. They wouldn't be tipping over to the sides. So work towards keeping those shoulder blades really gliding down the back. Now, this time we'll bring the knee in, we'll let the arm open out to the side, and then let's weave the hand through the gap between the hand and the knee. Breathe in as we return, changing over to the other side. Opposite arm to leg extends, arm opens out to the side, and then we feed the arm gently through. Good, keep that going for me, guys. That's it, lovely. That's looking good. So, if we want to, we extend the arm and the leg away, and then this time we'll keep the knee lifted, the leg lifted as we open the arm out, and then we thread the needle through. This is an option, so you don't have to do it. And if you end up dropping onto your shoulder, that's okay, that's kind of, I wouldn't say it was normal, but it happens. Yes, Helen, nice. Woo. Oh, that one wasn't very good. Sorry about that, guys. One more on each side, and then allow yourself to sit back onto your heels. Lengthen the arms in front of us, and we'll rest the forehead and breathe. Lovely. Nice, good. So from there, let's allow ourselves to come into our plank position. We'll come forwards into a plank position. So let's come to a low plank position to start off with. We'll allow the elbows to be underneath our shoulders. And the shoulders are gliding down the back and the head's extending out and away. Now, as soon as we're there, we're thinking about pulling the hip bones away from the floor. So we're thinking about pulling up through the hip bones, connecting in through those core muscles to allow the hips to be lifting away from the ground. Once you're there and you're confident with that, there's no strain in the lower back and you're breathing, the shoulders are gliding down the back. Let's see if we can lift the pelvis so that the pelvis comes into line with your shoulders. So the shoulders glide down the back, tailbone stretches out and away, and the head is extending as well. We've got that scoop sensation through the tummy, scooping up through the belly, head extending in one direction, tail in the opposite direction. Breathe nice and deeply here. Now, if there's any shaking or shuddering, or if there's any strain in the lower back, lower the thighs back down. Otherwise, we keep breathing, we come up onto our hand, and then we go down, and we go down. Let's do that again. We come up, we come up, we come down, we come down. Now hold it for me there. You're going to stay here. If you feel ready to, tuck the toes under and allow your knees to lift. Now once knees are lifted, tailbone stretches away, scooping in through the tummy. We're going to do the same thing. If you start to shudder or you feel that your back is straining, go back down to the kneed option. Let's do this once more. Come on up, come on up, come on down, come on down. Lowering the knees, sit back onto your heels and breathe. Nicely done, guys, well done. Good, nice deep breaths there. Let's just walk the hands over to the right side a little bit so we can get a nice stretch across the left side of the body. So the left hand reaches, left hip pulls back, and we get that nice long stretch down the side of the body. We breathe nice and deeply there. And then changing the hands over to the other side. Right arm reaches, hip pushes away. So the right hip pushes, the right hand reaches. And then coming back into the centre. I'm just going to get you to come up onto your knees for a moment, and we're going to take a little bit of stretch through the hip. So we'll take a big step forwards with our right foot. That's it, nice. Good. Check for me that as you get to that place, your ankle isn't like behind the knee, so you can pretty much always, you can still see your big toe. We'll just take a little tip forwards and back. You'll be pleased to know I did get my pedicure. Me and Anna did our toenails last week, so I've got much more pretty toes pointing back at me now. So from there we'll tip forwards and we'll take the weight over the front leg. And the knee, mine's a little bit, I want to bring my foot a bit further forward so that my ankle still stays over my knee. And then we can allow the opposite arm to release down. And we'll just see if we can allow that pelvis to start to descend downwards. We tuck the back toe under if you feel you can do, and then you can lift the back knee, pushing into that back heel. If you're thinking, no, that's not for me today, that's fine, keep the back knee on the floor. And change over legs for me. So bring that leg back, and then we'll bring the opposite leg forwards. Good, and once we're there, we'll take that little tip forwards and back, tipping forwards. That's it, nice, well done. That's it, Gwen, excellent. Lovely. And then from there, taking the weight forwards. Again, just make sure you don't bring the knee too far forward so it's not coming over the toes. And we'll lean on in. Christian, you made it! Yay! I was starting to wonder where you'd got to. Nice and deep with the breath. If you feel you want to, tucking that back toe under and pressing through the back heel. Nice and deep with the breath. And then let that back knee lower. And bringing yourself back onto both knees. Now, we're just going to take a moment to sit back onto our heels. Now, nobody, well not nobody, but not everybody likes this. So, we're sitting back onto our heels. I hope you Facebook Live people can see me because I can't see anything in the camera. We're lengthening nice and tall. Some of us in this position will be feeling a lot of work through our thighs. Others of us won't be able to get here, and that's fine. Your knees won't allow it, in which case just be seated. But if we can, we're going to work for that stretch down the front of the thighs. If you know this one's fine and you want another option, we tuck our toes under and we sit back onto our heels. This is my torture. So this is the one that I hate. So we're going to take just 3 breaths here, trying to sink evenly through both feet. Your feet will love you for doing this. It's really good for stretching out the soles of the feet. Oh, one more breath. And we release. So let's allow ourselves to come round. Either we'll stay in that kneeling position if that kneeling position is fine for you, or we can come up high on the kneeling position. We're going to take our spine twists again from here, or come round to a seated position, one that suits you better, maybe with the legs wide, somewhere where your hips can be level. Beautiful. We'll draw the fingertips together from there. We'll let the shoulders glide down the back. Hips are nice and level and still. We take a nice deep breath. As we breathe out, the rib cage gently rotates around. And we breathe in as we return. I've got someone who's coming into the class. And rotating gently around. Breathing in as we return back to the centre. Good, keep that going for me. Again, if you want to, you can allow the elbows to go wide. Let the fingers point upwards. Yeah, that's it, lovely. Good. Breath is nice and deep. Hi, Sandra. Lovely. Finishing off there, just allow your arms to release. Come on round and we'll allow ourselves to take a seated position at the end of the mat. So you've got the length of the mat behind you. We're going to take our capital C exercise from here and we'll end up lying down on the mat. So allow there to be the length of the mat behind you. Off to bed then, Caroline. That's all right. You can watch this later. Take care, lovely. Lengthening nice and tall, allowing the hands to come around the backs of the thighs, shoulders gliding down the back, nice and deep with the breath. Now, we'll scoop in through the tummy, we'll tilt the tailbone under, curve into the lower back, and then lengthen up nice and tall. And again, tipping the tailbone under. Good, lovely. So if we're feeling as though we want to add in, we can add in those little twists that we were doing just now. So if we can get to the top and feel really lengthened, we can draw the hands and the elbows together, take a little rotation through the rib cage, breathe in as we return back, and then a little rotation round to the opposite side, breath in as we return back, and again tipping through the tailbone and gently curving. And then lengthening up nice and tall. And then taking that little rotation. And rotation. Good. And curving down. So I had a little idea, because as you know, I'm on holiday next week. And I've done 2 little videos, which hopefully, fingers crossed, technology allowing, will be put out onto both of these, both Facebook and the website, on Monday and Friday, so you can still do class. Here's the idea. We allow one leg to lift as we curl back into our capital C. So we'll allow the right leg to extend out, knees are going to stay level, and we curl back. And then we lengthen up nice and tall. Try not to let that knee wobble. Placing the foot down and we rotate gently back, around. Coming back to the centre, rotating around to the opposite side. We'll go with the other leg this time. Legs are optional. You can keep the feet on the ground. Good. One more on each side. Now when I say one more on each side, there is of course the option that we could use both legs. So we could allow both legs to lengthen, and then same thing, curling down, and then lengthening up tall, place the feet down, and rotation. So that's optional. Last one, either with the legs lifted or one leg lifted. Loving your work, Gwen. Nice one. You love it, Rachel. Let's come on down all the way to the floor. Come on down and we'll come onto our side. Preferably onto your side, that means you can face me. So you can see what I'm doing, but you know, that's optional. That's it, nice. Shoulders are on top of one another, hips are on top of one another. Take a nice deep breath and we stretch the legs away. So I did the Joe Wicks workout yesterday morning, and then I videoed the classes for next week. So I had it about me a little bit, and then suddenly this morning I thought it might be worth going through the exercises that I've put in that video. So we can blame Joe Wicks. So we'll allow both the legs to stretch and lengthen away and let the arm rest down by our side. So take a nice deep breath and we'll allow the top leg to gently circle. Breathing out for half the circle, breathing in to complete the circle. Keep that going for me, just taking 3 more. Now, I don't feel as though you guys can actually see me now. Oh, look, now you're wonky. How's that? When you've done that on one side, let's change and take the same amount on the other side. Get out. And then floating those legs down, softening in through the knees. Allow the top hip to tip gently forwards. We'll squeeze in through the tummy and allow the top knee to gently lift and lower. We lift and lower. And lift and lower. Let's take 3 more like that. And then gluing the knees together, we'll allow both the feet to gently lift and lower and lift and lower. Lovely, just 3 more there. And then from there, let's take hold of that top foot, give it a good stretch. As always, if you can't grab the foot, use a band or a belt or a scarf or something like that to wrap around the foot, and then you can ease it in nice and close to you. Ooh, take a moment to just check that those shoulders are really gliding down the back. And then releasing from there. If you've got a cushion or something, you want to pop it under your head, now's a good time to do that. Popping the cushion under your head and then allowing both arms to come forwards. We take a breath and allow the top arm to open. And we'll breathe in as the arm returns. And if there's not enough room in the room, just bend through the elbow and let those elbows open. You still get a really nice rotation through the rib cage, but the arm isn't as heavy, sort of thing, as because it's not as long. How's that going? All right. Good. Last one there. Let's allow ourselves straight away to swing round to the other side. So if you want to just roll over to the other side, that's fine. If you'd rather spin around so you can still see me, that's all marvellous too. And we'll go on the other side before we forget which one we started on. Lovely. So we've got the shoulders on top of one another and we've got the hips on top of one another. We'll take a nice deep breath. We'll stretch and lengthen the legs away from one another, away from us. So we'll stretch towards the skirting board. So keep that sense of length going. Some of us find it is quite uncomfortable down on the underneath leg, mainly on the knobbly bit of the thigh bone that we didn't know we had until we started doing this exercise. So if you find you've got discomfort in that knobbly bit on the thigh bone, stretch the legs even further away from you. Try and put the energy right down in your feet. That's it, quite nice. Yeah, good. We've got that energy extending away. We'll take a nice deep breath and we'll allow that top leg to gently circle. Breathing out for half the circle, breathing in to complete the circle. Good. Keeping that going for me. Just 2 more. Who have I got there? Laura! Whoop, whoop! Laura's watching! Yay! And changing the direction of the circle. Laura, I hope you're you're not watching at school with all your little children. Well, I suppose it's quite nice if you are. I'll give them a little wave as well if you're watching with all the school children. Doing a marvellous job. And floating the legs down. Let's draw the knees in and we'll tip the top hip gently forwards. We'll squeeze in through the tummy. Taking a deep breath and allow that top knee to lift. So we'll take 5 here. So those of you on Facebook Live, if you can only see me as a stretched out body, which is what I can see, you can't really see what I'm doing. So the hips tipped forwards and then we're trying to get that knee to lift and lower. I've lost count, but I think this is number 5. We'll glue the knees together. We'll allow both feet to lift. Nice, and lower. So scooping in nice and tightly through the tummy. Feet lift. Good. 3 more. And last one there. Well done. Let's take hold of that top foot. Stretching out through the front of the thigh. And allowing those knees to stretch away. Just take a little check that your knee's not lifting upwards. So we want to see if we can get that knee into line with our hip. And we breathe nice and gently there. And then releasing the legs. Allowing for both arms to come forwards. If you've got a cushion, pop it under your head now. And resting the head down. We take a nice deep breath. Let the top arm open. Eyes are fixed on the hand. And we breathe in as the arm gently returns. And again, the top arm gently opens. Breathing in as the arm returns. Bending at the elbows if there's not enough room and you want to get that larger rotation. And last one there, let's allow ourselves to come onto our backs. So you might be more comfortable to stretch the legs away to start off with, and that's fine. We'll just allow ourselves to take a moment to fully rest into the floor. Allow yourself to really surrender to the ground. Let go of any tension that you're holding on to. And we're going to allow the head to gently roll from side to side. So just allowing yourself to gently release through the neck. We want to find a really nice posture here. So we'll allow ourselves to bring the head into the centre and we'll tuck the chin in slightly, lengthening across the back of the neck. And then let's allow ourselves to feel a sense that the breastbone is releasing, the collarbones are releasing, and the shoulders can just melt down into the ground. So we feel that the shoulder blades are sinking down into the floor. And the spine can gently release from there, so allow yourself to find a sense of release all the way down through the spine. And you may find, if you've got the legs lengthened, that there's quite a large lift in your lower back, quite a large arch in your lower back, and that's all good, and that should feel okay. If any time that feels uncomfortable, do let the knees bend, because that will take the strain off of it if it feels as though it's too much of an arch. So we're going to take a nice deep breath and we're going to allow ourselves to find our neutral spine. So for that, we're going to want to bring our feet on the floor. So the feet are going to come to just hip distance apart. The knees are bent and the knees are just hip distance apart. So feet, knees and hips run in parallel lines to one another. Let's allow ourselves to gently rock the pelvis so that we can tip the lower back into the floor and then allow the back to exaggerate the curve, and then we'll find that place where it feels as though hip bone and pubic bone come to level with one another. And when we're there, we'll rest the rib cage down into the floor once again. Hips and pubic bone have come to level. Take a nice deep breath, squeezing in through the tummy. Let's take our knee openings from here. So we'll allow the right knee to gently open out to the right side. draw that knee back in and then change over to the opposite side. So you're changing sides each time. You're looking to keep the belly squeezing, keep the hips nice and still. Let's allow the shoulders to really sink down into the ground. And just check that you're not creating any tension through the neck, so the chin stays tucked in and the back of the neck is lengthening. Now, if you want to, we can work with the leg lifted from here. So if we want to, we can lift the leg and let the knee open out to the side. And if you want to, from there, you could work with 2 legs lifted. So you could allow the lower back to press into the floor, and then you could lift the second leg, and then we can do the same thing. So the knee opens out to the side, we draw back to the centre, and then the opposite knee opens out to the side, and we draw back to the centre. Taking it, we'll just take 2 more on each side. And 1 more on each side. And then allowing one foot to float gently down, and allow the other foot to gently float down. Good. Let's come into our shoulder bridge from here. So we'll take a nice deep breath. Let's press the lower back into the floor, and we'll start to gently peel the spine away from the ground, coming up through the vertebrae bit by bit, piece by piece. When we get to the top there, we can take a deep breath in. And as we breathe out, we'll float those vertebrae back down, pressing the lower back into the floor and then returning back to neutral. Good, keep that going for me. Rolling gently through the spine. Now, if there is any osteoporosis or disc issues through the back, you might want to lift the pelvis in one unit and lower the pelvis in the torso in one unit and lower in one unit. Otherwise, if you know that you've got stiff lower back or upper back, let's allow ourselves to really focus in on moving through the vertebrae bit by bit. So we'll allow the breath to come and go nice and gently. We're going to add some arms in. So when we get to the top of the shoulder bridge this time, we can let the arms lift either up towards the ceiling or over the head. And then we'll float the vertebrae back down. So now if the arms lift towards the ceiling, you'll probably find that you get a little bit more purchase on the vertebrae. When you lift the arms all the way over the head, it sort of magnifies the sticky parts, bringing the arms back by your side as you return back to neutral. Good. So we get up to that shoulder bridge, that ski slope position where we're in that diagonal line, and then we bring the arms into wherever feels good for us. Now, next time we're going to take a little bit of work with the legs, which will challenge our core, our glute muscles a little bit more as well, and the core. So let's get to the top, and before we add the arms in, we're going to allow one leg to lift. So it might be just the heel lifts away from the floor, or it might be that we stretch the leg all the way up towards the sky. We'll float that foot back down, changing over to the other side. And floating back down. Arms lift up and over the head. And then we'll float the vertebrae back down one by one. Pressing the lower back into the floor, returning back to neutral, arms come back by our sides, and we take a little abdominal curl up. Floating gently down. And keep that going for me. Ooh, I've lost visual. Ooh, I lost you all. Keep that going for me, guys. I don't know what happened there, guys. I lost you all. There you are, you're all back in. Marvellous. Finishing off the one that you're doing, and allow yourself to return back to that neutral position. Taking a nice deep breath for me there, and as you breathe out, we're going to allow the right knee to lift to hover above the hip socket, bringing the calf to a 90-degree angle. Take a deep breath. We'll push the lower back into the floor and allow the second leg to lift. Now, if you get to this position and you feel as though there's a strain in the lower back, I'd rather you worked with one leg lifted and in neutral. Take a deep breath for me. As you breathe out, we're going to allow that toe to dip down towards the floor as if we were testing the temperature of some water, and then we allow the leg to lift. Let's take 5 on that side and 5 on the other side. If you're working with 2 legs lifted, you're alternating sides each time. Keep that going for me. Where are my peeps? There you are. There you are. Marvellous. When you've done 5 on each side, we'll bring the knees in towards the chest and give them a good hug. And then with that squeeze in through the tummy, allow your right leg to rest down onto the floor and glide that right leg away from you. So you may prefer to keep a hold around the back of the thigh. That might feel more comfortable on the knee. Good. Nice and deep with the breath. And then changing over to the other side, bringing the opposite knee in, give it a good hug and slide the other leg away. Gorgeous, good. And then sliding that left foot back in. Let's allow the right leg to rest down onto the floor. We're going to take our leg circles from here, our knee circles. So once again, looking to get those hip bone and pubic bone level, let the rib cage rest down into the floor. Scooping in through the tummy will allow the right knee to lift to hover above the hip socket. We're going to take 5 little circles in one direction and 5 circles in the other direction. The larger we make these circles, the harder it is for us to keep the hips nice and stable and still. Good. Once we've done 5 in one direction, we'll change to the other direction. If you find that this bent knee that's resting on the floor is getting in your way, just slide it a bit further away from you so you can take a full extension through that leg, as long as it doesn't change your lower back positioning. I've completely lost count. So I'm going to say we did at least 5 on that first side. Good, lovely. Last one, and floating that foot down, change over to the other side. Allow the opposite leg to lift if you haven't already changed over. And again, 5 in one direction, 5 in the other direction, and if you want to, the opposite leg can glide away. So the knee gently circles. Breathing out for half the circle, breathing in to complete the circle. Keep that going for me. Morning, Duffers McDuff. Lovely. And when you've finished off there, float that leg down. Let's allow the right leg to extend all the way up towards the sky with the left leg bent. And we'll take hold of that right leg, taking a nice stretch into the hamstring. That's it. Yeah, good point, Mo. If you find it difficult to reach the leg, grab a band or a belt or something along those lines, and you can wrap it around your foot, and then you can just hold on to the ends. Marvellous. That's it, guys. Well done. Mind you, this extra stretchy screen makes it look like I'm doing a really fantastic hamstring stretch, so I'm quite enjoying this. Is the only exercise I'm enjoying, looking at myself in this screen. So we breathe nice and deeply. Now, as we start to ease into that stretch, we'll see if we can let the back press a little deeper into the floor. Yeah, nice, good. And hopefully, after we're here for a few breaths, it'll start to ease, let go a little bit. So the leg is aiming to fully extend at the knee. We're going to see if we can get the tailbone to stretch away from us. We're letting the shoulders melt down into the ground. And just take a moment for me there to let the head just gently roll from side to side. Nice. So hold it for me then. We'll take the leg a little way across the midline. And then a little way out to the side. Yeah, good, good, good. And once again, a little way across. A little out to the side. Now, from there, we're going to bring the leg into the centre and we're going to hold it there. If you've got the band, just loosen the band off or get rid of it altogether. If you're holding onto the leg, we're going to allow the arms to rest down by our sides. Now, we've got the leg stretching in the air. We're using our core muscles to keep the legs stretching and keep the back pressing into the floor. Really important that we keep the back pressing down. Take a breath and we'll allow that right leg to float down towards the floor. Keep the back pressing into the ground. And then we'll allow that leg to lift. Essentially, this is our scissor action, just as we were doing before. But because we're not working in neutral spine, we're working in printed spine, and we've got the leg extended, it feels quite different. I find it's more of a active hamstring stretch. Did I say 3 or 5? Let's go for 5. And finishing there, see if you can ease that leg a little bit closer towards you and then take the right foot across the left knee. Let the right knee fall open to the side. So some of us are happy here to allow the right foot to be resting on the knee and pressing the right knee out to the side. Others of us can weave the hand around the left thigh and ease the leg in towards us. Some of us find it really difficult to grab hold of that left leg, in which case the band again comes in handy. If you wrap the band around that window, so around that left thigh, going through your little window that you've made, it kind of helps if you've got, that's it Helen, yep, if you've got not enough arm length. Obviously you've all got the right amount of arms. And releasing there. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So we'll allow the left leg to come in and we'll take hold around the back of the thigh or the back of the calf if you're nice and stretchy this morning. Yeah, good, good. If you've got the band, you're back wrapping the band around your foot. Hi Stephanie. Yay, you're watching. And we're lengthening through the leg. Good. And with each breath again, we'll just see if we can ease a little further into the stretch. We'll see if we can allow those shoulders to glide down the back. And we'll let the head just gently roll from side to side. So suddenly I'm aware that I should probably be giving out pre and postnatal options. Just being aware that if you've had a baby in the last 6 months or if you are indeed pregnant, these stretches you want to ease, not go too far with. So just go to the range of movement that you would have been in before you were pregnant. So don't overstretch at this point. And then bringing the head into the centre, we'll just take that leg slightly across the midline. And gently out to the side. And again, gently out to this across the midline. And out to the side. Just one more like that. And then with the back pressing into the floor, we'll bring the leg into the centre and we'll take the hands away, take the band away. Lengthening the leg up, keep the back pressed down low. Keeping that squeeze in the tummy. We're going to take our scissor action with the leg fully extended here. So we're lowering the leg towards the floor. Notice for me, when you find that place where your back starts to want to pull up, that's as far as you're going to go. And it might be that your leg can go all the way to the floor, and that's a marvellous thing. If it's not going that far, you get to a point and think, oh, my back feels like it's going to pull off the floor, then don't go that far. Yeah, we definitely did 5 on the other side, so we're definitely going to do 5 on this side. So last one, see if that'll come even closer towards you this time. Even closer, closer, closer. Maybe give it a little hug and pull it in even closer. Last little push on the hamstring. And then we'll take that leg across the right knee. Let the left knee fall open to the side. Pelvis releases down. And if you can, weave in the hands around that right thigh, easing it in close towards you. If once you've got that leg, got hold of that leg, your head is being pulled off the floor and your chin's jutting upwards, aim to tuck the chin in a little bit more, or you can always use a cushion for this stretch. Yeah, that's it, Gwen, yeah. Good. Good. Last breath. And releasing the feet down to the floor. So once again, let's find that nice and neutral spine position. We'll take a deep breath, and as we breathe out, let's allow the right knee to lift to hover above the hip socket. We've got that natural curve in the lower back. We'll stretch the right leg away from us, lengthening out and away, and breathing in as the leg returns. Good, we're going to do 5 on that side and then change to the other side. If you want to, you can work with 2 legs lifted, in which case we can push the lower back into the floor and allow both legs to lift. Stretch the leg away, drawing the leg back in. Listening into your bodies, guys. If you want to push yourself that little bit more, do the 2-legged version, that's lovely. Good. The lower you take your leg, the harder it will be for you to keep that back pressing into the floor. Keep the belly button squeezing down. Lovely. So once again, I've completely lost count. I think we're on about 5 on each side. Yeah, that looks good. Well done. Bring the knees in towards the chest. Give them a good hug. And then we'll scoop the belly in, let the head pull up towards the knees, and we'll start to gently rock forwards and backwards. Now, if you're postnatal, you might not want to go full pelt on this. You might want to take a little massage into the floor, then come onto one side and push yourself up to sitting. Otherwise, we're going to take 3 more to ping ourselves up to sitting. 3, 2, 1. There we are. Marvellous. Good. We're lifting nice and tall once we get there. I vote we do just 3 rolling like a ball. And if you're thinking, I ain't rolling like a ball, I'm not going to do it, take a little stretch, feet come together, knees go wide, and we'll ease into the hip stretch there, or take the legs wide instead. Otherwise, we've got 3 rolling like a ball, if we know that suits our body and our spine. So, there is length behind us. There is not a cupboard or something really close to us. We've got space. Chin's tucked in. Neck is nice and long, so you're not going to hit your head and your neck on the floor. We rock back. We come up to sit. Maybe the toes hover away from the floor. Maybe they don't. We rock back. Come up to sit. Just give me 1 more there. And hold it for me there. Well done, guys. Good. And from there, we're floating the feet down. We're bringing the legs around. We're coming into a crouch position. Tucking the toes under gently. And then we'll allow ourselves to just gently rock forwards and back. We're going to come up to standing through a roll up through the spine. If you know that doesn't suit you and your body, come up in a way that works better for you. Pressing the heels into the ground. We're relaxing through the head. We're rolling up through the spine. Good. When we get there, let's lift the shoulders. We'll roll the shoulders back and down. Just 1 more like that. And then we'll take a nice deep breath in. We'll reach really tall. Breathing out, and we'll let it all go. Give it a good shake out. Give yourselves a round of applause. Well done, guys. So next week, I haven't got a class, a live class, and I won't be doing a Zoom class. There will be a class going online. So if you look through my website, There's lots of classes on. There should be lots of classes on the website by next week, and yeah, you can get a class that way. I'm hoping that I'll be able to put them on Facebook at the right time, but that does depend on how technological I will be that day. So thank you for joining the class. Facebook Live, guys, I hope to see you in a fortnight where we'll keep these classes going, these live classes going. So take care and thanks for joining the class.